Hi guys, welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV, and Spurs have just got over the line 2-1 against Manchester City, taking us through to the League Cup quarter-final. You have to beat the best teams in the land to win silverware, and now we are in an all-Premier League quarter-final, and the draw will be taking place any minute now, and we will be reacting live to that draw as it comes. I'm here with Amir. It was a very difficult game. Manchester City played a much stronger team than I expected. Spurs also played a strong team. Spurs made not all the clear-cut chances in the game, but definitely the high majority of the clear-cut chances in the game. Scored 2 goals, conceded 1 just before the break, and we should have put them to bed, but we didn't. It doesn't matter, though. We showed some mentality, and after the Crystal Palace defeat, a lot of people have been saying, you need to show us that you've got the cojones to get through adversity, to get through difficult times. I've been saying it on my videos all week. And Amir, am I right in saying that today they answered some critics?
Oh, 100% they answered the critics. And it not only did Ange answer his critics because he got one over on City and one of the best teams in the world, but also all the players, they showed up today. They showed fight from the whistle. And, it's actually hard to pick a man of the match because there were so many good performances in there. And I'm just so happy for the team to get over the line in this League Cup. It's huge for the fans, for the club. And like you said, an all-Premier League quarter-final is still going to be very, very difficult to get ourselves to Wembley.
Of course it is.
Still going to be a huge fight. But the fact is, we made it out of that scrap against City. And it's huge. Huge for our confidence. Huge for the players. Huge for Ange. And I'm absolutely over the moon with that result.
I think I'm just looking at the side now, I'm just thinking in terms of man of the match. I would go somewhere around Timo Werner, on the basis that he's under so much pressure.
Played well.
And he played well. He got himself in great positions, which he always does. But most importantly, he took one of his chances. And actually, in another chance he had, a one-on-one, he did all the hard work and hit it really well. For the first time, he hit a couple really well today. And he nearly scored 2 and possibly deserved 2. So I'm going to go for him. Dragushin, I think, although not great with the ball, put in some really important kind of pressures and challenges to stop City scoring. And Solanke and Kulusevski just for their engine, really. Their engine's just endless running. I'm just keeping an eye on Simon Thomas over there
and just
on Sky
to add to that, Barnaby, you've also got Pape Matar Sarr, who was phenomenal, scored that second goal with a wonderful finish from the edge of the box, curled it, inside that near post. Beautiful finish from Pape.
Yeah, despite only playing a half, it was an important half. And ironically, Big Ange took off Pape Matar Sarr at half-time because he was on a booking, and then Yves Bissouma came on, and then just running round like a headless chicken, gets booked straight away, and then he's in the same kind of boat. Very, very classic Yves Bissouma performance.
But look, I'm glad he did that because that block in stoppage time is what saved the game, because Yves Bissouma is right there on the line, reacts to it, manages to clear it away and saves us from going to 2-2 and penalties.
Absolutely right. Let's go through some of what happened in the match, starting in the first half. The game had a really good tempo to it from the very start. Both teams kind of going at each other on the transitions, and the fans at the stadium, you could tell, were really, really up for it, chanting throughout the game, apart from maybe one little period at the back end of the first half. Timo got his goal after 5 minutes. Beautiful football from back to front from Spurs. Proper Ange ball. And finally, comes to Deki Kulusevski on the right, and he just whacks it across, but with panache, but gets enough on it to get it all the way across the 18-yard box, and Werner just waits for it and then just whacks it in step, like bang.
Beautiful.
No chance Ortega whatsoever. And then just in general, the first 10 minutes were kind of end-to-end, both sides kind of popping it about but looking dangerous on transition as well. And then we've got to talk about some of the injury problems. Van der Ven went off in the 11th minute, and he looked devastated, and it looked like he'd certainly strained a hamstring. Hoping it's just a strain. One positive is that he did come back out and sit on the bench, and if it was really that bad, they wouldn't have him out in the cold weather.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. But it is worrying, so many injuries. Romero going off as well. It is worrying, considering the amount of games we're playing this season. The Europa League as well. It's gonna be very tough for those guys to bounce back. But that's why we have this big squad. And the players that all came on, to be honest, they all really did very, very well. I thought Ben Davies coming on did well. I thought,
Sorry to interrupt, but people have been saying for ages, we need to get rid of Ben Davies. He's a proper pro.
Proper pro.
Look, is he a 9 out of 10 centre half? No. But is he 7 out of 10 every time he comes on?
Every time. He did really well today. And so did the rest of them. And honestly, I'm just so happy for the team, for it to be such a good team performance, to get over the line against City. It's huge.
So going on to the 15th minute, Werner kind of made another chance for himself. The ball came across to him. Kulusevski made an outside run, and I thought Werner was going to try and slip Kulusevski in, but actually a big gap opened up, and Werner had the confidence at that point, having scored that goal, to take on the shot, but he didn't get hold of it, straight down the keeper's throat. 22nd minute was when Sarr got his booking for the 3rd foul he'd made today, but just straight after, as you mentioned, Sarr's incredible goal. It was a short corner routine, came to him just outside the box. He doesn't take a touch, just first time with the side of his foot, gets enough power on it, and starts it so far out wide, just bends inside the post.
Perfect.
No chance for Ortega.
It's the perfect finish.
And that had us 2-0 up with about 15 minutes left, and that's where there was that little lull in the atmosphere at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I said at the time, it was like, we need the fans to really keep us motivated, and actually our intense press stopped at that point, and Man City really came into the game. 42nd minute, good chance for Phil Foden, 7 yards out on the volley, hits it over the bar. Udogie then lost the ball, gave away a free kick in a difficult area a minute later, hit over the bar from Foden, and then in the 3rd minute of added time, City scored their goal. Across from the right, Silvino, I think it was, who made it to the byline, and then just hits it, kind of chips it up to the back stick, and Nunes had the freedom of the park to just slot it home. And I have to say, I've seen a replay since. He took it on the rise. It wasn't exactly on the half volley. It's a good finish.
No, very good finish. But again, he shouldn't be there at the back post on his own to just slot that in. That's, it's just not okay. It's sloppy defending. It was a bit sloppy from Udogie. Was it Udogie?
Yeah, I think Udogie didn't stop the cross.
Yeah, he didn't stop the cross as well. A bit frustrating. But again, at the end of the day, we got over the line. So I really don't care that it was 2-1 and not 2-0. But in future, we are going to have to address that problem, because it is on repeat. We're seeing again and again players being left at that back post, and that's just not conducive with, keeping clean sheets. So I'm hoping we can take care of that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Moving into the second half, and it just, again, similar to the start of the first half, just a high tempo. And in the 47th minute, Silvino cut inside and had a shot that, on the optical illusion of the camera, looked like it was going to nestle top corner, but was well wide in the end. Then very quickly, Johnson got free on the right and hits a shot. He's actually in his elite, ideal area there, Johnson, where he gets it out, one touch, right foot, hits it early. Ortega makes a good save to his bottom right, and it doesn't quite fall at the feet of Solanke. Then in the 51st minute is when Werner had his one-on-one, and he did a lot of the work himself. He's found on the halfway line, and he has a lot of room, pitch to run into, but he sprints away from everyone, takes it on his left foot, and like I said, just got a great connection on it, and it is a whisker. Just a whisker wide. That, for me, is some of the best work, that one-on-one, that I've seen from Werner.
Well, I would it was great work. Everything apart from that last little finish. For it to be perfect, he just needs to slot that home. But you're right, it was a very, very good effort. It went whiskers wide. The first goal, that is what will it will give him so much confidence going forward in the season. And, we all know how he's missed a lot of, very, very easy chances. Yeah. But that confidence would just rise and rise with his performances. Yeah. Let's just hope his injury isn't too serious.
Completely agree.
He'll be back soon.
I completely agree. It was also very soon after that Christian Romero went off. Ben Davies came on. He didn't look that uncomfortable walking off the pitch, but there must be a knock. It was so soon after. Small. Yeah, so soon after half-time, I feel like he must have gone in at half-time and said, I'm feeling something, and they said, try and run it off, and he wasn't able to. Basuma booked soon after. Then Decky Kulusevski had a shot saved by Ortega. That was the one where, actually, it was a very similar situation to the first goal, but just closer to the goal, and actually, Decky could have played it across to Werner with his right foot, and instead he took it on his left and tried to place it in the far corner.
And he kind of had Solanke there as well as an extra option. Could he have slipped in Dom there for the finish for a little tap-in? Maybe. But I can also understand Kulu, because, he wants to get on the score sheet himself, and he's, we all know his confidence. He knows what he's doing. So I don't mind him taking the shot in that situation. It's just a very, very good save.
I don't mind either. I would just like to have seen him, because he brought it onto his left foot, and he's trying to bend it in the far corner. I would like to see him give the keeper the eyes and whip it into the near post, which he's had a lot of success with. And actually, that move was started by Archie Gray, and just a minute later, Werner had a similar situation on the other side and had the confidence to take it onto his right foot and hits it over the bar. But again, that was started by Archie Gray, who had a much better second half. I thought he was very impressive.
Very impressive, very impressive. And yeah, he did let Nunes go for the goal, but I think overall, his overall play, getting away from defenders, his on-the-ball play, his passing as well, really creating chances. I thought he did brilliantly, Archie Gray, in that second half. And he's another one that could be close for a shout for man of the match, to be honest.
I agree. And I don't want to get into the negatives too much, but actually I wouldn't blame Archie Gray for the City goal, because I think Archie Gray's job is to kind of come narrow. But Brennan Johnson behind him, and there's been a few of these recently, he has to stay with the man there, but he went narrow as well. That's where, look, Ange knows better than me, so maybe Ange will say, no, you did the right thing and it was just the perfect chip ball, but I personally think he had a lot of space to chip that into. Anyway,
he did.
In the 67th minute, Mikey Moore and Richarlison came on for Johnson and Werner. As you said, looked like Werner got a little bit of a knock. Hopefully it's just cramp, because we are going to need him, although the talk before the game from Ange is that he thinks and hopes that Sonny might be fit at the weekend. And then as we get towards the 80th minute and beyond, City start pulling us around and making chance after chance. Wright had a couple of them at the back post, just kind of trying to swing them in, had one that just went wide. Then in the 82nd minute, a huge chance for Spurs as Man City, it was Gvardiol, I think, throws it across his box, and a miscommunication, and Richarlison has a free run, and the ball is, I think, maybe 10 yards, 12 yards out.
Yeah, it's closer than the penalty spot even.
Left foot, all he has to do is find a corner or whack it. He does neither and hits it straight down Ortega.
It's literally, when you dream at night as a striker, that's what you literally think about. And I'll put my house on Richie scoring in that situation, but I guess he's just not got the confidence coming back from the injury. You know, he scored the penalty the other day, but, you know, it's different to score from open play. And he's just literally fluffed it. It's the weakest effort you'll ever see, and straight down the keeper's throat. Easy save. He's
very clearly not up to speed at the moment. He's had a lot of injuries, and he hasn't played many minutes, and he's trying a bit too hard, if anything.
A little bit too hard. You got to slot that home, and that would have been game done as well. We wouldn't have had that last-minute scare with Yves Bissouma clearing it off the line.
Well, I was just going to talk about that. In the 87th minute, Guillermo Vicario, who in the most part did everything right tonight, you saw the panic in his eyes. They had a corner, an in-swing, and he thinks, well, and to be fair, I've been asking him to show more aggression, so I'm not sure I can really complain, but he thinks, I'm coming to get this whatever happens. Do you know what? It's just like on FIFA, where from a corner, I always just hold down the triangle button and get the keeper to come out whatever happens. Vicario did it, and honestly, he was 10 yards away from it. And he knew he was 10 yards away from it. And so in the end, you see the panic on his face, and he just kind of ends up going like this. And one of the City players gets a toe on it, and actually, it's instinctive from Yves Bissouma, who I was giving shit to all second half for making terrible tackles and possibly deserved to be sent off. He clears it off the line, and if Man City fans are interested enough in this Carabao Cup game to complain, they have a right to complain, because I think Basuma should have been sent off by that point for 2 yellow cards, and he actually cleared the ball off the line and saves Tottenham.
Yeah, he was living on the edge for pretty much that whole second half, and there were a couple of fouls in there which easily on another day could have been given a second yellow. So he's a very, very lucky boy. But we needed him to be a lucky boy, because he's the one that actually got us over the line in that game, you know. So it all worked out perfectly for Spurs tonight, which I'm absolutely delighted about. And I know the 60,000 down there at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, absolutely buzzing. I can only imagine the atmosphere down there at the moment. It's a huge victory for us. I'm absolutely over the moon. And I think it's a huge stepping stone and exactly what we needed to rebound from that defeat at Palace. And with Villa coming up, it's going to give us the world of confidence. We just need our players who have got these little injuries to come back fit, strong. We need Captain Sonny back. And, of course, we need the players that are going to fill in for those ones to step in and do the job, do the business.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm being overly positive and hopeful, but those injuries didn't look to me as bad as, say, the ones in the Chelsea game last year. They look more, a couple of them look precautionary takings off rather than anything else.
Sure, which I don't mind. Again, precautionary takings off, you know, you've got to look after these guys. It's a very, very long season, so let's hope they'll be back very, very soon.
Just to say, Sammy, it looks like they're going into the back pages thing rather than can you get it on one of the Sky Sports channels to try and get the draw on?
Yeah, I think it's at 10:40 the draw, but you have.
Okay, yeah, I'll have it. Just one more thing happened in the game that just right towards the end, which is City were on the break, and actually Archie Gray took a really important yellow card, and that showed some maturity from the kid.
Oh yeah,
I was very impressed with him.
Oh yeah, he didn't even question it. He knew that he was getting beat there, and that you know, he had to bring your man down, pull him back, and he did. Got the yellow card and stopped the attack. So very, very smart play there by Archie. And I can only see him going from strength to strength, to be honest with you. If the way he's playing at such a young age, so composed on the ball, and his range of passing as well, which is phenomenal. I'm really hoping to see more of Archie this season. And if he can improve on his on a couple of the defensive aspects, which all our defenders need to improve on, really. Yeah. I think we've got a real talent in that young man.
Yeah, and I think, you know, games like this will only help our young, talented players kind of grow in
confidence
stature.
as well.
Yeah, as well as confidence.
Yeah, definitely. You just beat City, do you know what I mean? So
yeah, and look,
it's huge.
Actually, The Fighting Cock, one of my favourite podcasts, make sure you listen to it if you don't already. They've just tweeted, lose to winless Palace on Sunday, win against unbeaten Man City on Wednesday. This is just who we are. And that's true, because it's the project. It is going to be its ups and downs, and to be fair, Ange just never shied away from that. He's always said there will be ups and downs.
For sure, and that's and at the end of the day, you've got to look at the season as a whole. We're still in all the cup competitions.
Yeah.
We're okay. We're a bit Jekyll and Hyde away from home for sure, and that we need to improve. But the signs are there that we can do something this season, and I'm just hoping that we can continue on this trajectory and see how we get on. The Europa League is one for me as well that we should be, you know, in the hunt for, in the mix for, and we've looked very good so far. So
I really
long
hope
may it
so.
continue.
You've got to say, we're waiting for the draw, and you've got to say, based on the likelihood of things happening, Arsenal away in the next round? What do you think?
Oh, don't say that. Look, to be honest, I wouldn't mind getting them at home, but away from home is a different story with that lot. I think I'd take Palace at home, get revenge on them.
Let's have
you don't want an away trip to Liverpool, that's for sure.
So the teams left in the draw are as follows: Southampton, Brentford, who won on penalties against Sheffield Wednesday last night. So I'd take either of them at home. Liverpool, Palace, yes please, at home. Man United, Newcastle, Arsenal, Spurs. So, yeah, look.
Can we get one of the easier
Southampton
draws?
at home
or Brentford
would be fantastic. Yeah,
or Brentford or Palace.
Brentford or Palace at home.
And now we've all said that we're going to get Liverpool away, aren't we? Or Newcastle.
Or Arsenal away. Sammy, I'm a little nervous about having to wait like 20 minutes for this.
I'm going to plug in. It's at the start.
But do you want us to stay on this feed, or rather us go onto the fan show feed for...
No, stay on this feed.
Stay on this feed. Okay, fair enough. So let's go into the comments and see what some of you guys have been saying about the game. If I can find it. The chat has been disabled for the live stream. That's annoying.
Oh, is it? Because you're on Chrome.
Yeah.
So would you fancy United, Barnaby?
Well, it's hard to know with United. I mean, I would.
Now the manager bounce?
At home.
Yeah.
But... so that it says on the paper there that Amorim is going to stay with Sporting for 3 more games. And that is because I heard today that he has a 30-day notice period, like he's in any normal job, which I find quite hilarious.
Interesting.
But it's hard to see what will happen at United because of Amorim. I mean, look, there will be some fans straight away because they won like 5-2 tonight, saying, well, why don't we just give it to Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Sure.
He played, he was manager of PSV,
but they've been down that road with Ollie, haven't they?
Of course
And
they have, yeah.
I don't know if they'd risk that again. You know, someone with such a lack of experience coming in,
absolutely
even
right.
though he is a club legend. You know what I mean? Ruud van Nistelrooy is one of the best finishers in the box in the Prem in his day.
Ruud van Nistelrooy was an unbelievable finisher.
Yep.
Yeah, but look, most importantly for me, quarterfinals of the League Cup made a good, important win for Ange against a big team. Didn't have to take it to penalties. I'd say we deserved the win. I mean, we gave up a lot of
100%.
possession.
Look,
And actually,
100%.
Ange played it a bit of a different way. Or at least Spurs played it a different way. I don't know if that was in the coaching, but we certainly gave up a lot of the possession, and we looked incredibly quick and dangerous on the break.
We did. And it comes down to, at the end of the day, if you get over the line and you're creating chances, which is what we didn't do against Palace.
Yeah.
Against Palace, we couldn't even get to our creation. We weren't creating opportunities. When you create such gilt-edge opportunities that we had today, you do, if you win the game, you do deserve to win it. And we could have had maybe 4 or 5 goals in that one.
Yeah.
But City at the same time could have scored 3 or 4 on another day. And honestly,
True.
I think, just to be critical of the chosen one, if you like, I think Pep got this wrong, because you've got Haaland sitting there on the bench laughing, saying, I'd scored that, I would have scored that, I would have scored that, and he hasn't put him on, which I find a bit mystifying, really.
Sam,
Why
can you
not?
press skip on the thing?
Why you wouldn't
Well, I think
play
it's like,
Haaland?
fine, don't play him, but don't bring him as well. Like, why has he brought him to London and all that? Are they? I don't know. Maybe they're playing someone in London on the weekend. Probably not. Let's have a look.
I don't know. But if I was Haaland, I'm just sitting there thinking, why am I not on the pitch? You know?
They've got Bournemouth away on Man City on Saturday, so it can't be that. Ooh, Arsenal have got Newcastle away on 12:30 on Saturday.
Good. I like that.
It's hard at St James's
It's
Park.
very
isn't
hard,
it?
and they'll off a win against Chelsea. Look, to be honest with you, speaking on the Scummers, I don't think they're that good, to be honest with you. I haven't been
pragmatic,
impressed.
aren't
I haven't been impressed at all so far this season. The team that really has stood out for me is Arne Slot's Liverpool. Since their defeat against Nottingham, they've just been on a roll, and the team that Klopp left them there is so strong, and he just seemed to have. I know he's going to say he's just to slot in. He really has, and I'm really worried about those guys.
Let's have a think about the weekend and the players then who didn't play today. Porro and Maddison, of course. So they'll slot straight back in. So we're probably looking at Vic, Udogie. Let's assume, unfortunately, that Romero. Let's assume the worst. Romero and Van der Ven are injured. All right. So Vic, Udogie, Davies, Dragushin, and Porro. And then you'd think, wouldn't you, Bissouma,
Sar's got to start for me.
Bissouma, Sarr, and Kulusevski.
No Maddison.
You think he'd start Maddison because Kulusevski's played minutes today, probably?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay,
Maybe
hold on.
start
We're just going to
Maddison.
listen to Ange now, actually. I'll try and bring some quotes to you. Ange said he felt the team worked hard, playing against a formidable opponent. Said he thought we worked really hard for the most part well. He said not too many clear-cut chances to them, which is true, and we had a few ourselves. He says the most important thing is that we got the win. He doesn't look ecstatic, I have to say.
No.
He's just being professional, I think.
He's always like that, though. It's always his demeanour. I think inside he's going to be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah. He says that he believes that this team is growing all the time. He believes, and you are going to have stumbles as you grow.
Of course.
But a lot of Spurs fans don't want to accept that. He said he had great belief and confidence that we'd come out today and put up a good show. He said that both our goals were quality goals tonight. They have to be, because City aren't going to give you too many easy chances. And he says great for Timo. He's been going through a tough time, but for him to score was fantastic, and the build-up play for it was great. Yeah, he says that's the team we want to be. We couldn't do it all night tonight because the opponent doesn't allow you, which I think he's probably talking about the lack of possession we had. But that's Man City, you know, they've got 30 players who are all worth tens of millions of pounds and more. He says Timo was unlucky not to get 1 or 2 more, but he was good tonight.
Yeah, should have had his second. Should have had his second for sure.
He says hopefully tonight's goal will help him with some anxiety he's been feeling. He's being asked about determination and fight tonight. He said we had to. No chance that City aren't going to ask you questions that are difficult. He said he looks livid and he says he was disappointed to concede so late in the first half. Says he doesn't think Man City had many clear-cut chances in the second half. I mean, there was obviously the one where Bissouma had to clear off the line.
Can't get much more clear-cut than that.
The first team to beat Man City in any competition this season. So that's something to hold on to.
Come on.
Andrew's asked, is this a big moment for our growth? He says he doesn't believe in big moments. He doesn't believe in catastrophic moments. We're the same team we were on Saturday. We're growing, developing. And there
I think he's right about that.
More good days ahead of us.
Yeah, I think he's right about that. At the end of the day, you know, it's a great win, but it's not a big moment. Will be lifting a trophy. Do you know what I mean? Keep yourselves level-headed.
Here comes the Carabao Cup quarter-final draw. We are number 8.
Home draw,
Brentford
please.
1,
Home draw.
Southampton
Come on.
2, Palace 3, Liverpool 4, Man United 5, Newcastle 6, Arsenal 7.
Do you know what? Having talked through all those teams now, Barnaby, you know what I feel? Just give me a home draw. I don't care, whoever.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll take any of them.
I agree.
Take any of them.
But you know what?
Home draw.
We so rarely get a home draw when we want one.
Come on, please.
So Jamie
Just a home
Redknapp
draw.
hates Spurs despite having playing for us. He is one of the ball drawers. First out. Number 8.
Come on! Come on! Home draw. Come on.
First out of the hat now. Come on.
Come on. Who have we got? Who have we got? Come on, I'll take United. Come on, I'll take United. We beat them 3-0 up there. We can do them again. Come on. We'll take care of. We'll take out both the Manchester clubs.
I bet
Come on.
that will be one of Amarim's first games because if he's missing 3 games,
we'll give him a good welcome to England then, Barnaby.
Yeah,
Come on,
Arsenal
I'm on fine with
we
that.
might as well do the rest of the draw. Arsenal drawn at home. I bet it's like Southampton.
Brentford.
Number 3. Palace.
Of course.
Arsenal
of
at home
course.
to
They always
Palace.
get the easiest draws. Always get the easiest draws.
Oh, dear. First out. Next is Newcastle at home draw. They'll be happy with that. And this will be Southampton. Southampton. Oh, no, Brentford. Brentford. So that leaves Southampton against Liverpool, presumably.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So that's been the end of the Tottenham 2, Manchester City 1 game. We take on Manchester United in the next round. We will be back with a brief but very important post-match fan show in about 5 or 10 minutes' time. So go over to that and make sure you subscribe to We Are Tottenham TV if you're not already. And most importantly, come on, you Spurs.
Come on.